Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. Barbados' tourism industry is setting new records for visitor arrivals. This from Prime Minister Fundell Stewart. He says there were more than 600,000 long-stay visitors last year. Kent Jerson has more.
The occasion was a reception for repeat visitors held at Illawarra Court, the official residence of the Prime Minister. It was there that Prime Minister Fundell Stewart disclosed that long-stay visitors in 2016 surpassed 2015, which was also a record-setting year.
Like the year 2015, when we had 592,000 long-stay visitors visit Barbados, and that was supposed to be a record, that during our Jubilee year, we were able to attract, according to my advice, 610,000 visitors, long-stay visitors to Barbados, which is supposed to be another record.
The Prime Minister thanked and congratulated tourism stakeholders for promoting the island to the extent that it achieved such impressive results. And so optimistic is he about the industry, he believes 2017 could be an even better year.
Of course, there is no clause in Adam's will that says that records should end in the year 2016. And I therefore confidently expect that at the end of the year 2017, it will be reported to me, or should be reported to me, that we've had 650,000 visitors visit Barbados.
Among the long-stay visitors attending was Lorraine and Richard Thorley, who've been coming to the island since 1982.
In those days we stayed at Sam Lord's Castle, which was open in those days, and we were down at Christchurch. Now we're owners in St James. We're not far from Sandy Lane, and we walk there for 5 miles every morning around the golf course there, and then we usually go out and have a meal somewhere every evening in Barbados, and we love it, absolutely love it.
We love swimming in the ocean. It's just so beautiful. The island is, to us, it's paradise, because we came for our honeymoon and we've been coming back ever since, and we've got so many friends here now, we feel it's our home.
This event was the first of 4 receptions for repeat visitors to be held this year. Kent Jerson, CBC News.
Prompt the Central Bank of Barbados to issue another multi-million-dollar tranche of savings bonds later this year. Word of this from Senior Currency Officer Sherry Bishop in an interview with CBC News. According to her, the central bank is confident that Barbadians will continue to invest in the bonds as they are released.
So what we did when we launched in 2015 is say we'll make the bonds continually available. So when a series is exhausted, we'll put another series out there, which is why we had traditionally, say in the last 5 years or so, we'd have 2 issues a year. But what we've been doing is every time there's one exhausted, we will, we would put another one, and that's what we're aiming to do going forward this year as well. So we'll put out one when that has been fully subscribed or almost fully subscribed, then we'll put out another one. So I don't think there are no plans for us to limit in terms of, well, say definitively we only put out 2 or we only put out 3. That's all about the take-up from the public.
Okay. Ms. Smith also defended the central bank's cap on the bonds, which limit purchases at $100,000 per person.
When bonds were first introduced, they were intended for small and medium-sized savers. So you put an investment out there that offers you very good returns. If you don't put a limit on the amount that people can buy, there are going to be some people who are going to, try to grab as much as they can. So what we have done, what we've always done, is have an upper limit on what people can purchase. The minimum limit was $50 since 1981. It is still $50 now, but in terms of the maximum limit, we raised it to $100,000 per person, $200,000 for 2 people purchasing jointly. But that is per series. So if you've met the $100,000 in this series, when the next one comes out, you can invest again. So it's not that you can only hold $100,000 in savings bonds, but you can only hold that per series.
Well, the beauty of the Barbadian landscape has drawn countless visitors to our shores. But this year, the local body for film and media practitioners is hoping the island can tap into a niche market, Barbados as a film destination. President of the Barbados Film and Video Association, or BFVA, Damien Pinder, says if major film companies are convinced to shoot their films in here, both the economy and local film industry wins. In fact, Mr. Pinder says when Pirates of the Caribbean filmed in St. Vincent for a month, the island's tiny film industry was the #2 earner for that year. He says to bring these profits home, it will take a group effort.
You can have people come in here, make it lucrative, make it attractive. So that's why I say you need a lot of people, you need legislation, policies, you need government, you need statutory corporations, you need everybody to come together and say, okay, Tourism Marketing Inc., they're going to market Barbados as a film destination. BADC, they're going to help support certain things to make it more attractive for people to come here. Next organization, okay, we're going to build a sound stage. The BFVA, we advise, and also whatever is needed, we also play a part in that.
Mr. Pinder says the association has so far been successful in representing members of the audiovisual sector and starting discussion on what is now the Cultural Industries Development Bill. The BFVA also rolled out film programs across secondary schools and designed pilot courses for vocational qualifications in filmmaking. And although the association understands government may not be financially able to support the industry at the moment, it hopes the private sector can lend a hand in some of its future endeavors.
Eventually have a space where it's a studio space, an office space, where we have a stage set up, sound stage. You can come and you can film on the green screen, and members would get special rates, so that then would bring in some more income. So so again, some of the plans are long game, and the terms are short. It's just a year, but it's something that you kind of gotta trust, and that that the other boards, incoming boards, will continue the vision.
And just over 20 film producers and arrangers will get some exposure for their pieces in a few days. It will happen as the inaugural Barbados Independent Film Festival kicks off next Wednesday, January 11th, with an opening gala. That night will also feature the presentation of the honorary award to Machel Montano and the screening of the film Beyond Glory. Co-director of the film festival, Jennifer Smith-Bent, joins us live now. Ms. Smith-Bent, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So can you tell us then, how will this festival be beneficial, especially for young film producers?
Well, I think it's a wonderful opportunity. We are bringing in, as you mentioned, more than 20 producers, filmmakers, directors, and actors to Barbados. This is an international film festival, and many of them are seasoned professionals, but we also have a lot of up-and-coming independent filmmakers that are winning awards at Tribeca, Sundance, Cannes, and they're all coming to the island to show their films and to intermingle with their Barbadian counterparts. So we'll also, of course, have local films as well. Mm-hmm. In addition to the films that we'll be screening, we'll also have workshops, which the public and the local filmmakers are invited to. And the whole idea is to get them all together, to talk to their peers, and maybe come up with some co-production ideas.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Are there any big names that we might recognize who are coming in from independent?
Yes, we're very delighted to have, in addition to Mr. Montano coming to accept his award, and as you know, he was in Bazo D, which was written by Claire Ince from Barbados. We have Stephen Lang, who is the bad guy in Avatar, as well as the blind man in Don't Breathe, that came out this fall. And we also have Andrew McCarthy, who's coming. He was kind of a Brat Pack actor in the 90s, but he's also the director of The Blacklist and Orange is the New Black.
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on the standard of the industry in Barbados right now?
I think it's wonderful. I mean, I think what I've seen from as long as I've been here, I came last year, I was worked at National Geographic, and before that at Discovery Communications. I've seen a very high quality professionalism here and creativity. I think there needs to be is more of an industry and an undergirth to it, so that people can do it as a profession. What I see is people do it because it's their passion, but they also have to do other types of work. Mm-hmm. What we want to do is create the industry and the revenue so that people can do it full time and really raise their level of professionalism so that they are going global.
So what do you think is missing right now?
I think what we're looking at is getting more funding into Barbados for these big films and to kind of provide full-time employment for the talented filmmakers and storytellers that already exist. You know, I think, and what we've seen with other film festivals around the region and the world, that when you have a festival and you start bringing in films and you start offering incentives for filmmakers to come and shoot and do filming here, what you do is you build up a local industry that not only supports the international big budget films, but it also creates a domestic industry and a domestic film market that is supplying, you know, from your caterers to your lighting crews to your videographers as well as to your audiences. You have a whole new economic stimulus to the economy. Yeah.
Now, in talking about stimulus to the economy, we have a Cultural Industries Act that was relatively recently proclaimed. One of the things that may be included in that is concessions to filmmakers. How important do you think things like that are to actually get an industry going?
I think it's critical. You know, I worked at National Geographic and Discovery before, and when we were doing our productions, we were always scouring the world for those incentives. And, you know, that's why we did a lot of work in Canada, why we worked in Europe, and more and more there's those opportunities in Asia. But the idea of that, the thing that I see about Barbados, which is the high level of education, the language, the infrastructure, it's all here. So we just have to woo these filmmakers here to our shores, and I think they're here to stay because of the ease and the proximity to the film market.
Thank you very much. Jennifer Smith-Bent, who is the co-director of the Independent Film Festival that's coming up. 5 days, you told me earlier.
That's right. Beginning this Wednesday, January 11th through the 15th, and we are programming films. We are partnering with the Arrowbarrow Center for Creative Imagination, Lime Grove Cinemas, and of course the brand new theater at the Walled Garden Theater at the Barbados Museum.
Okay, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Certainly. We'll take a break here, but when we come back, more news.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits, with a solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, with a solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
We'll change. Changes in management are on the cards for the Barbados Water Authority. That's the word from sources there as top officials met with staff today to update them about those changes. It's understood that the meeting held this afternoon at their Pine headquarters was led by Chairman Atlee Brathwaite. During that meeting, workers were reportedly told who will be their next general manager, along with other picks for a number of other posts. BWA officials have been tight-lipped about the adjustments in the management structure, and while some names have been floating around in the media, the authority is expected to make an official announcement shortly. A safety and health specialist says there's been a noticeable fall-off in interest about safety and health in workplaces. Senior Assistant General Secretary at the Barbados Workers Union, Orlando Gabby Scott, says business people seem not to have the same level of enthusiasm they did when the legislation was passed. He says it's evident in the fall-off in attention paid to the setting up and maintenance of safety and health committees.
In the early years, I used to be calling to give guidance on the settlement of those safety and health committees, and even asked to do surveys with them. But last year, I was only involved in two, one company and the other a school. So I'm saying that we need necessarily to get back, the employers and the workers in this country, as well as the trade unions, have to get back to reinforce the whole question of safety and health at work, because you can save people from injuring themselves, you can save people from actually killing themselves, and the cost is great in both areas.
Mr. Scott says workplaces need to recommit themselves to a culture of safety.
If they don't know how to do it, call on the Safety and Health at Work section at the Ministry of Labour to give them assistance. There are a lot of agencies, private safety and health agencies in Barbados to whom they can go for help, people like Oxley and others. We in the Barbados will continue to be happy to give the support. I suppose the NUPW will also give support to the people in the public sector. But we must get back to the basics. Otherwise, we're going to be hearing people dying, people are losing limbs, and we can become too complacent. I think that's the problem. We have come very, very complacent.
Well, the search continues for a missing visitor who arrived on the island on board the Zenith cruise ship. He has been identified as Luis Felipe del Rosario Perez, a 28-year-old national of the Dominican Republic. He was last seen by the captain of the cruise ship Zenith around 11 on Tuesday morning when he departed the vessel while it was berthed at the Bridgetown port. He has not been seen since. Anyone with information relative to the whereabouts of Luis Felipe del Rosario Perez is asked to contact the Port Police Station at 430-7236, Central Station at 430-7676, the emergency number 211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477, or the nearest police station. Still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. Stay with us.